So, good evening, everybody.
Good evening,
Very good
sir.
evening, sir.
Should we start or wait for some time? Should we start?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Let
Yes,
us.
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So, yesterday we were discussing about the cognitive perspective, the of the development and the Piagetian approach of our cognitive development approach. That was the point of discussion. So, there are four stages. One is sensory motor, pre-operational, concrete operational, and formal operational. First, let us just recapitulate what we have discussed. Birth to 2 years sensory motor period, 2 to 7 years pre-operational period, 7 to 11 concrete operational period, 11 and beyond the formal operational stage. How the development takes place. So for the cognitive development, with respect to the environment, with respect to the environment, the developmental process takes place in the child and man. What he observes in the environment, accordingly, the cognitive development takes place. Do you have any doubt in these four stages? Do you have any doubt in these four stages?
No,
Any
sir.
of you?
No, sir.
No, sir. Then one approach is information processing approach. I have told you that we receive the various senses through our sense organs, and it is carried out by the nervous system to the sensory part of the brain, and the interpretation takes place. So all the informations received through are mostly audio and visual organs, eyes and ears mostly, and it is that information is processed in the brain, and after the information is processed in the brain, that what we call it, we perceive or interpret the particular information in the right way. That is called your information processing, and it is stored in the brain. So the individual manipulate the information.
Sir, namaskar.
हाँ नमस्कार
Sir, page number sir कितने?
राम रह गोटे से गोटे गोलमाला हेला बा जस्ट आई टेल यू
What is page block 2?
पेज नंबर 38.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
sir, information. Hello, what is the problem? There is sound.
इको होची सर
Hmm. So, बड़ा मुश्किल.
सर नमस्कार सर लीव करके आउ थे जॉइन कले
हाँ करूँ ब्रा.
आज्ञा सर लीव करंतु आउ थे जॉइन
हेलो. पुणी कहूँ.
सर पूरा लीव करना पूरा लीव करंतु
पूरा लीव कर दिल
हां
ब्रा.
पूरा लीव नाइ तो करन थिले अछंती आपण
लीव टा कोडी.
नालिया
कोडा कोन
बटन
लीव मते.
मारंतु लीव हे जिवे लेफ्ट
नालिया बटन.
हां जोटा डायलिंग घोलिया गोटे थिबो सिंबल धळा रे नालिया रेड हेतिबो
हाँ.
गोटे
कौन कहला?
डायल जो टेलीफोन डायल भलिया हेतिबो रेड
हाँ
कलर
हाँ
रहिछि
हाँ हाँ
व्हाइट रो
हाँ.
मजे
अच्छा अच्छा.
सेटा सेटा क्लिक करंतु लेफ्ट करिवे
तब रीजन नहीं.
अच्छा
हेलो.
सर ओके एवरीथिंग ओके सर
हैं?
ओके एवरीथिंग ओके सर योर साउंड इज ओके
रिसाउंड होउछ ब्रा.
चंदन दास के म्यूट कर
नमस्कार सर दिटा डिवाइस रे आपण जॉइन करछंती कि दिटा पिक्चर देखा जाउची तो
इटा नहीं.
ना सर ठीक है गला
सर कंटिन्यू करंतु ठीक सर ठीक
सर ओके सर
Sir, try to speak
Is it clear? No.
यस सर
or
यस सर
repeat you. ना sir repeat you sir.
रिसाउंड होउछ.
सर डबल वॉइस
इको.
थरे लेफ्ट हे जांतु
हैं?
थरे लेफ्ट हे जांतु आ गोटे जोटा रहइबो सेइतरु कोहंतु
Sir आपनकर double connection है कि सेते sir resound हो sir double connection है कि गुटे connection काटंतु.
डबल कनेक्शन नहीं मोर.
नहीं सर रिमूव है कि आउथरे नले करंतु देखिबा
नमस्कार सर आपण लेफ्ट है कि अगेन जॉइन होंतु ठीक है सर
हाँ जा को. हेल्प रेड बटन पर करथली. हाँ रेड पर कटली ए मान ଟିକେ ଆସିଲ ଟିକେ
ସାର୍ ଏବେ ଠିକ ହେଲା ଆପଣ ଆଉ ଜଏନ୍ କରନ୍ତୁନି।
ସାର୍ ଏବେ କ୍ଲିୟର ଶୁଭା ଯାଉଛି।
ଆଁ କଟିଗଲା ତ ହଉ ହଉ ଠିକ ଅଛି। ସ ପୁଣି ସେ ହେଲା
ସାର୍ ଇକୋ ସାଉଣ୍ଡିଂ ସାର୍।
ଦେଖିଲ
ସାର୍
ଏଇ ମାନ
ଦୁଇଥର ଜଏନ୍ କରିଗଲେ।
ଏଠିକି ଆସିଲ
ସାର୍ ଆପଣ ୱାନ୍ସ ଲେଫ୍ଟ କରନ୍ତୁ।
ଏ ଦିଟା କାଇଁ ହଉଛି ଆସୁଛି ଏ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କର ଆସୁନି କାହିଁକି ଏଇ କହୁଛି ବା
ସାର୍ ନମସ୍କାର। ସାର୍ ଆପଣ ପିସି ରେ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ନା ମୋବାଇଲ ରେ?
ଆଁ
ସାର୍ ଆପଣ ମାନେ ସିଷ୍ଟମ ରେ ଜଏନ୍ ଦେଇଛନ୍ତି ନା ମୋବାଇଲ ରେ?
ନାଇଁ ମୁଁ ଇଏରୁ ଲାପଟପ ରୁ କରୁଛି।
ହଁ ସିଷ୍ଟମ ହେଲେ ଆପଣ ଲେଫ୍ଟ ହେଇକି ଏଗେନ୍ ଜଏନ୍ ଦିଅନ୍ତୁ।
ଏଇଠୁ କାଟିଲେ ଏଇଠୁ ଦେଖିଲେ ନା ଏଠି କିଠି ଅଛି
ହଁ
ଏଇଠି
ସାର୍ ଗୋଟେ ମିଉଟ ହେଇଗଲା। ହଁ ଏବେ ଗୋଟେରେ କୁହନ୍ତୁ। ଏବେ ସାର୍ କହିଲେ ଗୋଟେ ମିଉଟ ହେଇଯାଇଛି ଅଲରେଡି। ମାନେ
ଯୋଡାକ ଅଛି ଯୋଡାକ ଅଛି।
ନା ନା ସାରଙ୍କର ମାନେ ମାନେ ଗୋଟେ ଆଇଡି ମ୍ୟୁଟ ହେଇଯାଇଛି। ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ମ୍ୟୁଟ ରେ କହିଲେ ଆମକୁ ଶୁଭିବ। ସାର୍ ଚଲାନ୍ତୁ କଣ୍ଟିନ୍ୟୁ କରନ୍ତୁ। ନମସ୍କାର।
ଏଇଟା ଯୋଉ ଏଇଟାରେ ନା ହ୍ୟାଲୋ ହଁ
ସାର୍ ଏବେ ଆପଣ ଯେମିତି କରିଥିଲେ ଗୋଟେ ଆଇଡି ମ୍ୟୁଟ କରିଥିଲେ ସେମିତି କରନ୍ତୁ
ହଁ ଯେ
ଶୁଭୁଛି ଠିକ।
ହଉ
ସାର୍ ହୋଷ୍ଟ କ୍ୟାନ୍ କଣ୍ଟ୍ରୋଲ ହୋଷ୍ଟ ବି ତାକୁ ମ୍ୟୁଟ୍ କରିପାରିବେ ତାଙ୍କୁ।
ହଁ 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 କରିଦଉଛି ଆଜ୍ଞା ଆଜ୍ଞା।
ହ୍ୟାଲୋ
କଣ୍ଟିନ୍ୟू କରନ୍ତୁ
ସାର୍ ଆଜ୍ଞା ସାର୍ ଏବେ ଠିକ ମାନେ ଶୁଭୁଛି ସାର୍।
ହ୍ୟାଲୋ ହ୍ୟାଲୋ ମାଇକ
ଆଜ୍ଞା ସାର୍ ଆମେ ଶୁଣିପାରୁଛୁ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ।
ସେ ନୂଆ ଲିଙ୍କଟେ କ୍ରିଏଟ୍ କରିଦେଲେ ହବନି କି ସାର୍? ନୂଆ ଲିଙ୍କଟେ କ୍ରିଏଟ୍ କରିପାରିବା ସାର୍?
ହଁ ତାର ହୋଷ୍ଟକୁ କୁହନ୍ତୁ ସିଏ କଣ୍ଟ୍ରୋଲ କରିବେ ନହେଲେ ଆପଣ ଜଏନ୍ ଆଗେନ୍ କରନ୍ତୁ ହେଇଯିବ। ନା ନା ଦିଟାରେ ଆସୁଛି ମୁଁ କଣ କରୁଛି ଦିଟା ସବୁ ଦିଟାରେ ଆସୁଛି।
ଏବେ ସାର୍ ଠିକ ଶୁଭୁଛି।
ଆଜ୍ଞା ଯୋଉ ଗ୍ରୁପ ଅଛନ୍ତି ଏଠି ଜଏନିଂ ସୁବିଧା ଅଛି। ସେ ଯୋଉ ଗ୍ରୁପ କରିଛି ସେଥିରେ ବି ଆଡ୍ ହେଇଯାଇଛି। ସେଇଟା ଯଦି ଆପଣ ଗ୍ରୁପ ଦେଇଥିବେ ସେ ହବ।
ଏବେ କ୍ଲିୟର ଶୁଭା ଯାଉଛି ସାର୍?
ଏବେ ଠିକ ଶୁଣା ଯାଉଛି ସାର୍, କଣ୍ଟିନ୍ୟୁ କରନ୍ତୁ।
ଅନମ୍ୟୁଟ କରି ସାର୍ ଟିକେ କଣ୍ଟିନ୍ୟୁ କରନ୍ତୁ, ଏବେ ଶୁଣାଯିବ ସାର୍ ଠିକ?
हेलो इधर ठीक है तो
यस सर
ओके सर ऑडिबल
ओके सर
ठीक আছে in the information processing approach whatever the information are received through our sense organs are processed and the interpretation takes place in the brain and we perceive the various concepts around us or in the environment. This is how we can understand, we can communicate, and we can apply many things in our practical life. That is called information processing. Whatever the information received, that is processed in the brain in the correct manner. It is not in the incorrect manner. It is in the correct manner. It is processed. Then developmental of a cognitive neuroscience approach.
सर पेज नंबर
Page number 39, block 2. Neuroscience refers to our nervous system. So you'll find some children are overactive. They're because of the some kind of the hyperactivity or the attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD. Attention deficit hyper disorder. It's a kind of a disorder, cognitive disorder. They're not so much attentive to your activities or behavior. So their hyperactivity, you'll find some children due to the hyperactivity, there is some deficiency in the development of their languages and other behavior, communication problems. Their development
रश्मिका
does not
मैडम
take
काइंडली
place
म्यूट योर आई
in proper manner. They don't listen to your words. So they are called hyperactivity and attention deficit because of some neurological problem that is found. And also you find some autism children of that kind, that nature, that mental disorder due to neurological problems. Autisms are there. So they come under special category. So you do not expect much from these categories of students regarding the cognitive development. Then the educational implications, just you go through it and you will learn it. There will be no problem. Let us come to the dimension of child development at page 44, block 2. What are the dimensions? One of the dimensions is physical development, cognitive development, emotional development, moral development. These are the 4 dimensions as prescribed in the book.
ସାର୍ ସେ ଯୋଉ
They will
ମେଟାକଗ୍ନିସନ ଯୋଉଟା ଦେଇଥିଲେ ସାର୍ ଟିକେ ସେ ଯୋଉ
go to
ମେଟାକଗ୍ନିସନ ଆକ୍ଚୁଆଲି ତାର ମିନିଂ ଟା ଟିକେ ବୁଝେଇଦେବେ କି ଆଉ
beyond cognition is called metacognition. Beyond knowledge, you have some idea about the cognition, and beyond that, when something you learn beyond that particular area, normal, that is called metacognition. Cognition, metacognition. Beyond cognition is
କେନ୍
called
ଚାପ୍ଟର ପଢାଉଛି
eh?
କୋଉ
What is your
ଚାପ୍ଟର ପଢାଉଛନ୍ତି
को କଣ କହୁଛ କୋ ବଡ ପାଟିରେ କୁହ?
କୋଉ ଚାପ୍ଟର ଟା ପଢା ହଉଛି ମୁଁ ଜାଣି ପାରୁନି
ଆରେ ୟୁନିଟ୍ 6 ମନ୍ ପଢା ହଉଛି ପ୍ଲଟ୍ 2 ର ମେଟାକଗ୍ନିସନ ଆମେ କୋଉ ପେଜରେ କହୁଥିଲ? କଗ୍ନିସନ ମେଟାକଗ୍ନିସନ କୋଉ ପେଜରେ କହୁଥିଲ? ହ୍ୟାଲୋ, was it asking?
ଆଜ୍ଞା 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 ସାର୍
Eh? Who
କହୁଛି
was asking?
ସାର୍ ସାର୍ ରଶ୍ମିତା ସାର୍ 42 ପେଜ ରେ ସାର୍
ହଁ
ଉପରେ ଯୋଉ ଦେଇଛି ସ୍କାଫୋଲ୍ଡିଂ ପନିଶମେଣ୍ଟ ଏଣ୍ଡ ମେଟାକଗ୍ନିସନ ସେ ତାର ମିନିଂ ଟା ସାର୍ ମୁଁ ଭଲସେ ବୁଝିପାରିଲିନି ତ ସେମିତି
42 ପେଜ ଆଚ୍ଛା ଆଚ୍ଛା
ଆଜ୍ଞା
ପେଜ 42
ପେଜ 42 ର ମେଟାକଗ୍ନିସନ ଯୋଉ ଦେଇଛି ସେଟା ଯୋଉ ଗ୍ଲୋସରୀରେ ଦିଆଯାଇଛି
metacognition, awareness or analysis
ଆଜ୍ଞା
of
ୟା
one's one learning, thinking or process is called metacognition.
ଏଇଟା ସାର୍ ଆମର କଗ୍ନିଟିଭ ରେ କଣ ଇଫେକ୍ଟ କଣ ପକଉଛି ସେଇଟା ମୁଁ ବୁଝିବନି
ନାଇଁ
ଏଇଟା
କଗ୍ନିସନ ଅର୍ଥ
ବୁଝିବ
ନଲେଜ ଆସ୍ପେକ୍ଟ,
ଆଜ୍ଞା
କଗ୍ନିସନ ଅର୍ଥ ହଉଛି ନଲେଜ ଆସ୍ପେକ୍ଟ, you related to your knowledge, ଏତିକି ବୁଝିପାରିଲ ତ?
ୟେସ୍ ସାର୍
ଆରେ related your mind is the center of processing everything, and we acquire knowledge through our mind. এটা ক্লিয়ার হলো তো? হলো কি
ୟେସ୍
নাই?
ସାର୍
হ্যালো, so
ୟେସ୍ ସାର୍
when we analyze the particular knowledge, you can interpret the particular knowledge in your own way, that is called metacognition. ବୁଝିପାରିଲ? ଯୋଉ ଜ୍ଞାନ ପାଇଲ ବା ଯୋଉ ଜ୍ଞାନକୁ ଆହରଣ କଲ ସେ ଜ୍ଞାନକୁ ଆହୁରି ବିଶ୍ଳେଷଣ କଲେ ତାକୁ ଆମେ କହିବା ମେଟାକଗ୍ନିସନ।
ଓକେ ସାର୍
ଯୋଉ
ଥ୍ୟାଙ୍କ ୟୁ
ଜ୍ଞାନ
ସାର୍
ଆମେ ଆହରଣ କଲେ ତାହା ସତ୍ୟ ହେଇପାରେ, ମିଥ୍ୟା ହେଇପାରେ, ତେଣୁ ତାହାକୁ ଆମେ ବିଶ୍ଳେଷଣ କରିବାର ଆମର ଆବଶ୍ୟକତା ପଡୁଛି। When you go beyond the cognition, after knowing all these things, you analyze, that is called metacognition. Thinking process is called metacognition. ଆମେ ଆଲୋଚନା କଲେ, ପର୍ଯ୍ୟାଲୋଚନା କଲେ, ବିଶ୍ଳେଷଣ କଲେ, ସେଟା ହଉଛି ମେଟାକଗ୍ନିସନ। ଏଥର କ୍ଲିୟର ହେଲା?
ଆଜ୍ଞା
ହ୍ୟାଲୋ,
ସାର୍ ଆଜ୍ଞା ସାର୍
କଗ୍ନିସନ ଆଣ୍ଡ ମେଟାକଗ୍ନିସନ, ଯାହା ଆମେ ଆହରଣ କଲେ ତାହାକୁ ବିଶେଷ ଭାବରେ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟାଲୋଚନା କଲେ ବା ବିଶ୍ଳେଷଣ କଲେ ତାହାକୁ ଆମେ କହିବା ମେଟାକଗ୍ନିସନ। So there are so many dimensions. One of the dimensions is physical dimensions, that the height, weight, and the physical appearance of the physical dimensions. That is page 45. You see the pictures. There are 5 from old man, old woman to girl child. So there are various stages, and during the early stage, the physical development becomes rapid. During early childhood or late childhood, the physical development rapid, but at the later stage, the physical development becomes slower.
Physical development is high in infancy.
କଣ ହେଲା ପୁଣି?
Sir, physical development ଟା ବେଶୀ infancy ରେ growth করে ନା childhood
Then
ରେ?
think of the emotional development. It is the most important aspect of the human being. the emotional. Emotional development, there are two types of emotions. What is emotions? When there is emotion, there is a stirred up condition of the body. That means stability is not maintained. That means the normalcy is shifted to one side. You are speaking in a normal way, but when you are angry, your normalcy is shifted. So your behavior is totally different. That is sweating, you are trembling, and so on and so forth. That is your emotion. The stirred up condition of the body, just in a bucket of water, wheel the water with the help of your hand. What will you find? The water will wheel, and there is no still condition. ସ୍ଥିରାବସ୍ଥା ରହିବନି ତାର, ସେ ଚାରିପଟ ଘୁରୁଥିବ। ଗୋଟେ ବକେଟରେ ପାଣି ରଖିଲେ ଆମେ ତାକୁ ହାତରେ ଗୋଳେଇଲେ କଣ ହବ? ସେ ପାଣିଟା ଜୋରରେ ଘୁରିବ, ସ୍ଥିର ଅବସ୍ଥା ରହିବନି। ସେଇଭଳି ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ଭାବ ପ୍ରବଣତା ଆମର ହେଇଯିବ, ଇମୋସନାଲ, we become emotional. During that period, the stability of the body is not maintained. When the stability is of the body, we are all normal individuals. But when the stability is shifted towards a particular direction, for example, when you become angry, or when there is a fear, psychological fear. So during that period, the stability of the body is lost. So you are emotional. Both of the outward and the inward behavior of the individual or the appearance of the individual becomes different. There is sweating, there is trembling when you become angry. So emotion, it clear hela ki? Emotion ta, hello, emotion ta clear hela ki?
Yes, sir.
There are two types of emotions. One is called positive emotion, other is called negative emotion. Positive emotion develops your personality, joy, pleasure, happiness, and so on and so forth. These are the positive emotions. But the negative emotions, jealousy, anger, fear, these are negative emotions, which adversely affect your personality. So the negative emotions are harmful for the individual, but the positive emotions are always good for the development of the individual. Clear? Negative emotions and the positive emotions.
Yes, sir.
About the
Yes, sir.
positive emotions and negative emotions. It is clear? So always we try to develop positive emotions in the young learners, not negative emotions. As a teacher, if you go with a frown face, is it a negative or positive? You go with angry mood to the classroom or a frown
No,
face,
Negative.
sir. No, sir. It is negative.
Negative,
it is
sir.
negative.
Always we go to a positive face.
In the
A
positive
positive
face,
Smiling face.
attitude.
Smiling
smiling
face.
face, I was telling that the smiling
Smiling
face
face
is
and
the
positive
best
attitude.
yes. smiling face and the positive attitude, it enables the teacher to build up confidence. ଯଦି କ୍ଲାସରେ ପଶୁ ପଶୁ ତମକୁ ଡର ଲାଗିବ, ନେଗେଟିଭ ଇମୋସନ ଆସିଲା, ଯାହା ପ୍ରିପେୟାର ହେଇକି ଯାଇଥିବ ସେତକ ସବୁ ଭୁଲିଯିବ।
ସେଟା
ପିଲା ଯାହା
ଏମିତି ବି
ପ୍ରଶ୍ନ
ହୁଏ, ଏମିତି ବି
ହୁଁ
ହୁଏ ମାନେ ଟିଚରଙ୍କର ପଜିଟିଭ ମୁଡ ଥାଉ ବା ସ୍ମାଇଲିଂ ଫେସ୍ ଥାଉ, ଆମର
ହୁଁ
ଗୋଟେ ସବଜେକ୍ଟ ଉପରେ ଏମିତି ଗୋଟେ ଫିୟର ଥାଏ ଯେ ସେ
ହୁଁ
ଟିଚର ଯେତେବେଳେ ବି ଆସିବ ନା ଆମର ଅଟୋମେଟିକାଲି ମାନେ ହେଇଯାଏ, ଯେମିତି କି ମ୍ୟାଥ ପିରିୟଡରେ
ନାଇଁ ସେଥିପାଇଁ କନଫିଡେନ୍ସ ଲେଭେଲ ଟାକୁ ବଢେଇବାକୁ ପଡିବ। ସେଥିପାଇଁ କନଫିଡେନ୍ସ, ଫର ଏକ୍ସାମ୍ପଲ ଇଂଲିଶ language,
ଆଜ୍ଞା
English, always the teacher are afraid of speaking English in the class. କାଲି କହୁଥିଲି ଏକ୍ସାମ୍ପଲ, ସିସୋରେ ଗୋଟେ ବୁଲୁଥିବା ପିଲା, ସେ ଇଂଲିଶ, he speaks English fluently. ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଏକ୍ସାମ୍ପଲ ଦେଇପାରିବି ତମକୁ, ଆମର ଜଣେ ଫିଲ୍ମ ଆର୍ଟିଷ୍ଟ ଥିଲେ ଓମ ପୁରୀ, ଶୁଣିଛ ତାଙ୍କ ନାଁ?
Yes, sir.
ଓମ
Yes,
ପୁରୀ,
sir.
Yes, sir.
the
Yes,
film
sir.
artist, he is no more. ପୁଣି କଣ ଡବଲ ହେଲା? What is the problem? So Om Puri, he belongs to the Punjab. When he was admitted the Film Institute of Bombay, only he has the mastery over the language, that is Punjabi. Neither he has fluency in English or nor in Hindi. So he was unable to interact with others in Hindi and English. So there was a development of inferiority complex. मन भितर गोटे हीनमन्यता भावना सृष्टि ହେଲା. He decided to leave the institute. Before leaving the institute, he went to a teacher and told about his problems. That, sir, I would like to leave the institute because I feel there is an inferiority complex in my mind. I am unable to interact with others either in Hindi or English because I have not that background. The teacher told, all right, you come to me every day, and whatever you want to talk, either in Hindi or English, you talk. Maybe mistake, there will be mistake, but anything that comes to your mind, you talk. So according to his advice, he went to the teacher and tried to interact with the teacher. And gradually he develops the proficiency and confidence on the language. Follow my point. That what you have told, that there is a fear, psychology in the mind in a particular subject. May be wrong, you may interact. Gradually that fearness will go away. There will be no problem. So it is a question of how you develop confidence in the subject and in the environment. Once you develop fear psychology, you cannot interact with your children. Am I right? Yes or no? Yes or no, my dear students?
यस सर।
ସାର୍
Yes,
ତେଣୁ
sir.
ଡେଭଲପ
Yes, sir.
କନଫିଡେନ୍ସ ଡେଭଲପମେଣ୍ଟ। ଆମେ ତ ପ୍ରଥମେ ସ୍କୁଲକୁ ଧର ଆମେ ପାଠ ପଢୁଥିଲେ ଗଲେ ସ୍କୁଲକୁ, ପ୍ରଥମରୁ କଣ ଭଲ ଟିଚର ହେଇଯିବ? ନାଇଁ, ପ୍ରଥମେ ଟିକେ ଲାଗିବ, ଟିକେ ଫିୟରନେସ୍ ଆସିବ, ପିଲା କଣ ପଚାରିଦେବେ ମୋ ମାଷ୍ଟ୍ରି ବିଷୟରେ ଏଟସେଟ୍ରା, ତ ମୁଁ କହିପାରୁନଥିବି। So that is in your mind.
ସେଟା ନୁହଁ, ସେଇଟା ଯାହା ବି ଧର ଆମର ଗୋଟେ ସବଜେକ୍ଟ ଉପରେ ମାଷ୍ଟରୀ ସେଥିରେ ନଥାଏ, ଯୋଉ ଆଉଟଲୁକ୍ ଜିନିଷଟା ଆମେ ଦବା, ଯୋଉ ପ୍ରେଜେଣ୍ଟେସନ ଟା କେମିତି କଣ କରିବା, ସେଇ ପ୍ରକାର
ନାଇଁ
ଆମର
ନାଇଁ,
ନଥାଏ।
ତମର ସବଜେକ୍ଟ, ତମେ ସେଇ ସବଜେକ୍ଟ ଟିଚର ନୁହଁ, ତମକୁ କୁହା ହଉଛି ପଢେଇବା ପାଇଁ, ଏଇଆ ତ ନା କଣ?
ନାଇଁ ସାର୍, ସେଇ ସବଜେକ୍ଟରେ ହେଲେ ବି ଗୋଟେ
ହୁଁ।
ଜିନିଷରେ ଏକ୍ସପିରିଏନ୍ସ ଜିନିଷଟା ଥାଏନି କି, ସେଇଟା ବର୍ଷରୁ 2 ବର୍ଷ ପଢେ। ଆଜ୍ଞା।
Experience cannot be gained in one day or 1 month or 2 months. Gradually, the experience will be gained. You can learn more things through interaction. The more the interaction, the more you learn from the students. You do not underestimate the students. Always estimate the students, overestimate the students, and also give proper regard to the learner. ମୁଁ ମୋ ନିଜ ଲାଇଫ କଥା କହୁଛି। I was in the Radhanatha IAC training college. And as a lecturer, one has to deliver a demonstration lesson once, twice in a year or once in a year. I was delivering the lesson in physical science. Sorry, science, not physical science exactly, science. The students of Ravensa College, reading in class 9, they were the learners. After the class, he asked one unusual questions, which I could not answer. Simply, I told him, you have raised a very good question. I will answer to your question tomorrow. Nothing is to be worried. Someday, when I was in Nalini Devi Women's College of Teacher Education, your students, your colleagues, rather, I can say, having a postgraduate degree in mathematics. I don't have postgraduate degree in mathematics. I have read all these things in 1973 and that has been forgotten. He asked one question. He asked, confidently, I told her to ask the question. After her question is over, I thought over the problem for 1 minute and told him simply, it may be correct or may not be correct. It is up to you. This would be the possible answer to your question. She told simply, sir, I could not get the answer. It is the correct answer. I could not get the answer. I have asked many persons, but I could not get the answer. So sometimes what happens, out of common sense, you can give the answer. This is out of common sense. I just gave the answer. କ୍ଲାସରେ ପଶିଲା ବେଳେ କ'ଣ ହୁଏ, if you say my personal experience, ମୁଁ କ୍ଲାସକୁ କେବେ ଏଇ ଯୋଉ ଚିରକୁଟ ନେଇକି ଯାଏନି। ଯୋଉମାନେ କ୍ଲାସ ଆଟେଣ୍ଡ କରିଥିବେ ସବୁ, ଏ ହ୍ୱାଟ୍ସଆପ ହଉ ବା କାଉନସେଲିଂ କ୍ଲାସ ହଉ ବା ଜେନେରାଲ କ୍ଲାସ ହଉ ବା ନୋଟ ଖାତା ମୁଁ କେବେ ୟୁଜ କରେନି, ଦେଖେନି। କିମ୍ବା ବସିକିରି କେବେ ପଢାଏନି। ଏ ଦିଟା କଥା ମୋର ଏବେ ବି ଆଜି ଥିଲା କ୍ଲାସ ବି ସକାଳେ 10 ରୁ 10:30 11:30 but before I enter to the classroom I prepare the topic for 15 to half an hour. What shall the transactional mode and content to satisfy my students?
ସେଟା ବି କଲେ ପିଲାଙ୍କ
Hmm.
ଉପରେ ବି ବହୁତ ପଜିଟିଭ ବି ପ୍ରଭାବ ପଡେ। ଧର ଚିକୁଟେ ଧର ନେଇକି ପଢେଇଲେ ନା ପିଲା ବି କହିବେ ହଁ ସାର୍ ତ ଦେଖିକି ପଢଉଛନ୍ତି, ଆମେ ବି ଆଉ କଣ ବା ଇଏ କରିବୁ। ତ ଅଟୋମେଟିକାଲି ଏଇଟା ଗୋଟେ ଥିଙ୍କିଂ ଆସେ।
ହଁ ତ ଏନିୱେ ବେଳେ ବେଳେ ଚିରକୁଟି ନେବାକୁ ପଡିବ, ମନେ ପଡିବନି ଧର ଗୋଟେ ଫ୍ୟାକ୍ଟ ଗୁଡାକ
ହଁ
ଧର
ହଁ ହଁ
ମସିହା
ହଁ
ଗୁଡାକ
ହଁ 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 କିନ୍ତୁ ସାର୍ ସେଇଟା କଣ୍ଟିନ୍ୟୁଅସଲି ହେଲେ ସେଇଟା
ସେଇଟା
ହଁ
ସେଇ
ପ୍ରଭାବ ପକେଇବ।
ସେତେବେଳେ ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ ପ୍ରଭାବ ପକେଇବ। ତେଣୁ ଆ ଯୋଉ କଥା କହୁଛ ଏଇଠି ଯେ କୋଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ଅଫ the practice and year of service that you have rendered in your profession and ଏକା ଦିନକରେ କେହି ଭଲ ଟିଚର ହେଇପାରିବେ ନାହିଁ, ଏକା ବର୍ଷକରେ କେହି ଭଲ ଟିଚର ହେଇପାରିବେ ନାହିଁ। ଭଲ ଟିଚର ହବା ପାଇଁ ଟିକେ ଦରକାର, ପରିଶ୍ରମ ଦରକାର ଟିକେ, ଏବଂ କନଫିଡେନ୍ସ ଲେଭେଲଟାକୁ ହାଇ କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ। You are the king in the class, you are the manager in the class, and whatever the answer will come to you. ପିଲାମାନେ କଣ ଯେ ପିଲାମାନେ ଘରକୁ ଆସିଲେ ତମେ ସାର୍ ଠିକ ଭୁଲ ପଢେଇଥିଲେ, ତମେ ଯଦି କହିବ ଠିକ ବୋଲି, ଠିକ କଥାଟା କହିବ, ସେ କହିବ ନା ନାଇଁ ସାର୍ ଯାହା କହିଛନ୍ତି ଠିକ, ତମେ ଯାହା କହୁଛ ଭୁଲ। କହୁଛନ୍ତି ନା ନାଇଁ ପିଲାମାନେ? This is the answer of
ନିଶ୍ଚିତ
the
ସାର୍।
young children, that is. So anyway, but why you will teach the wrong things? Rather we can admit, yes, tomorrow I will clarify your concept, no problem. So first you have to develop your confidence level. ଆଉ ଥରେ ଡରିଲେ କ୍ଲାସ ଭିତରୁ ପଶି ହବନି। ତମର ସିନା ଛୋଟ ପିଲା ବୋଲି ଚଳି ଯାଉଛି, ଆମେ ତ ବଡ ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ ସବୁ ପଢି ଆସିଛୁ। ଆମେ ଯଦି ବଡ ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ ଡରିବୁ ତାହେଲେ ପଢି ପାରିବୁ ଆମେ? ଯୋଉମାନେ those who are
ହଁ ସାର୍।
in the teaching learning process in the colleges, actually they want to develop their professionalism. So
ସାର୍
they have to
ମାଟ୍ରିକୁଲେସନ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ସେଇଟା ଚଳିବ, ତାପରେ ଆଉ ନୁହଁ।
ହେଲା ତମେ
ଆଜ୍ଞା।
ତ ଅଣ୍ଡର ଏଷ୍ଟିମେଟ କରିଦବ ସାରଙ୍କୁ, ଆଉ ସାରଙ୍କୁ ସେତେବେଳେ ଅଣ୍ଡର ଏଷ୍ଟିମେଟ କରେ ସାର୍ କେହି ବେକାର ପଢଉଛି, ତା ଯିବାନି।
ଆମେ ସବୁ ସାର୍ ଆଡୋଲେସେନ୍ସ ବିଷୟରେ ପଢିଲେ ନା, ତ ସେ ପୁରା ଆଡୋଲେସେନ୍ସରେ ଥିବେ
ବୁଝିପାରିଲ ତ?
ଆଉ।
ତେଣୁ ଏଇଗୁଡା ସବୁ ବାହାରି ପଡିଛି, ତମ ପାଟି ଭିତରୁ ବାହାରି ପଡିବ, କିଛି ଅସୁବିଧା ନାହିଁ। କାରଣ କଲେଜରେ 128 ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ ପଢେଇବାର ଅଭ୍ୟାସ ଆମର ଅଛି, 100 ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ ପଢେଇବାର ଅଭ୍ୟାସ ଅଛି। ଯେତେବେଳେ ଡେମନଷ୍ଟ୍ରେସନ ଲେସନ ଚାଲେ 200 ପିଲା ବସିଥିବେ ଆଟ୍ ଏ ଟାଇମ୍, ହାଇସ୍କୁଲ ପିଲା ବସିଥିବେ, ସମସ୍ତେ ବସିଥିବେ, lecturer ବସିଥିବେ, principal ବସିଥିବେ, in front of them you have to deliver the lesson. So this is how, anyway, the always the emotion controls your behavior. Remember, always emotion controls your behavior. I was telling about the stress and strain that is guided by the emotion, negative emotions. Due to the negative emotions, you are under stress and strain, which affect your body, mind, and everything, health and psychological conditions. You are unable to do the different activities. So these are the conflict arises due to emotion. your personality is development personality is affected due to the emotion. You develop the inferiority complex due to emotions, and so on and so forth. These are the characteristics of the emotions. Then let us come to the cognitive development at page number 48.
sir, sir, ଗୋଟେ
ହଁ
ମିନିଟ୍ ଖାଲି କର।
ହଁ କ'ଣ
sir,
ହେଲା?
sir ଗୋଟେ ଇକ୍ୱିବିରିୟମ ଗୋଟେ ୱାର୍ଡ ଅଛି ତାର ମିନିଂ ଟା କଣ?
ଇକ୍ୱିଲିବ୍ରିୟମ
yes sir,
ଇକ୍ୱିଲିବ୍ରିୟମ ଗୋଟେ ୱାର୍ଡ ଅଛି। ହଁ ହଁ
ଆଜ୍ଞା sir ତାର ମିନିଂ ଟା
the equilibrium will be maintained. You see, I was telling you about 3 or 4 words yesterday. One is called the first concept I was a mental image. What is that? Schema. Schema. Schema with the mental image. Okay. Already
yes,
this schema has been formed in your mind. Means some ideas are in your mind. Okay. Then when some new idea you gather, you gain. So there is some kind of the old ideas do not allow the new idea to enter into the brain. Yes or no? ତମେ ଗୋଟେ ସର୍କଲ ଟାଣ, ସର୍କଲ ଭିତରେ କିଛି ଆଇଡିଆକୁ ରଖିଦିଅ, ବାହାରେ କିଛି ଆଇଡିଆକୁ ରଖ। ସେଦିନ ମୁଁ କହୁଥିଲି କ୍ଲାସ ରୁମ୍ ଭିତରେ କେମିତି ବାହାରେ ପିଲା ଠିଆ ହେଇଥିବେ, ଭିତରେ ପିଲା ଥିବେ, ଭିତର ପିଲା ବାହାର ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ ସହଜରେ ଛାଡିବେନି ଆସ ବୋଲି। ଧୀରେ ଧୀରେ ସେ କଣ କରିବ, ତା ଭିତରକୁ ପ୍ରବେଶ କରିବାକୁ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରିବ, ଆଡଜଷ୍ଟ କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ ପ୍ରଥମେ, ହେଲା। ପ୍ରଥମେ ଯାଇକି ତାର ଗୁଞ୍ଜି ହେଇକି ତା ପାଖରେ ବସି ପଡିବ। ସୋ ଦ ନ୍ୟୁ ଆଇଡିଆ ଟ୍ରାଇଜ୍ ଟୁ ଏଣ୍ଟର ଟୁ ଦି ଏରିନା ଅଫ୍ ଦି ମାଇଣ୍ଡ or brain and try to make room in the mind. କିଛି ଜାଗା ଦଖଲ କରିବାକୁ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରିବ। କ୍ଲିୟର? ଏଇଟା କ୍ଲିୟର ହେଲା?
yes sir,
That is adjustment. He tries to adjust. Then gradually after some time he will be accommodated there.
ପ୍ରିଭିୟସ୍ ନଲେଜ ଆଉ ନ୍ୟୁ ନଲେଜ ଭିତରେ ଯୋଉ ବାଲାନ୍ସ ଟା କ୍ରିଏଟ କରିବାକୁ
ହଁ ଶୁଣ,
ଇକ୍ୱିଲିବ୍ରେସନ
ହଁ
ଖୋଜେ।
ତାପରେ ଆକୋମୋଡେସନ କରିସାରିଲା ପରେ ତାପରେ ତାଙ୍କ ଭିତରେ ଗୋଟେ କମ୍ପ୍ରୋମାଇଜ ହବ। ଏଇ ଯୋଉ କମ୍ପ୍ରୋମାଇଜ ହେଲା, that is equilibrium. There will be equilibrium due to the compromise between the old ideas and the new ideas. Okay? ଗୋଟେ ସନ୍ତୁଳନ ରକ୍ଷା କରାଯିବ। ସନ୍ତୁଳନ ରକ୍ଷା କରିବା ଫଳରେ ଯେ ଯାହା ସ୍ଥାନରେ ଆନନ୍ଦରେ ରହିପାରିବେ। ନହେଲେ ଅଦରୱାଇଜ there will be conflict. ମେଣ୍ଟାଲ କନଫ୍ଲିକ୍ଟ ହବ। ଏ ଆଇଡିଆ ଠିକ ନୁହଁ, ଏ ଆଇଡିଆ ଭୁଲ, ଏ ଆଇଡିଆ ଭୁଲ ନୁହଁ, ଏମିତି ସବୁ ଗୋଳମେଳା ହବ ସବୁ। ତେଣୁ that's why the equilibrium
ପ୍ରିଭିୟସ୍ କ୍ଲାସ ରେ ଯୋଉ କହିଥିଲେ କି ସୂର୍ଯ୍ୟ ଚନ୍ଦ୍ର ତାରା ସେ ସବୁ ଦେବତା ଥିଲେ, ତାପରେ ଆମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ କ୍ଲାସ କୁ ଯାଆନ୍ତି ହଁ ସିଏ ଗୋଟେ ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ଲାନେଟ ବୋଲି ଜାଣିବା ଆଉ।
gradually the old idea will be replaced. The old idea will be replaced by the new idea through logic, through analysis and so many things. ତାର ଭ୍ୟାଲିଡିଟି ନାହିଁ ଆଉ, ସେ ଆଇଡିଆ ଗୁଡାର ଭ୍ୟାଲିଡିଟି କିଛି ନାହିଁ ଆଉ, ସେଇଥିପାଇଁ ସେଗୁଡା ଧୀରେ 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 ଅପସରି ଯିବେ ଅଟୋମେଟିକ। କାରଣ ମାଇଣ୍ଡ ଇଜ ଇନ୍ ସର୍ଚ୍ଚ ଅଫ ନ୍ୟୁ ଆଇଡିଆଜ always. So which idea he will accept, which is logical, which is scientific, which is true. So these ideas will remain forever, and the old ideas which is not scientific, is not true, will be vanished gradually. ସେଦିନ କାଲି ବି ପଚାରୁଥିଲ ତମେ ସେ ଅଭିମନ୍ୟୁ କଥା ପଚାରୁଥିଲ ତ ମିଥ୍ କି ଏଟା ପ୍ରକୃତରେ ଫ୍ୟାକ୍ଟ it may be myth, it may be fact, doesn't matter. Forget it. Keep it in one side. But the development takes place when the embryo is in the mother's womb, from unicell to multicells. Different characters develop, and proper nutrition, etc., is required to the pregnant lady. That was I was telling. That was the example I was given. But let us not accept that it is a true or false. That is not the my intention. ए बुझिल पहले इक्विलिब्रियम जे पचारथिलो.
Yes, sir. बुझी पारली sir.
अच्छा.
Thank you, sir.
Then let us think of the cognitive development. How the cognitive development, it is a mental process always. I have told you. A mental picture, a mental image is formed. Actually, Jean Piaget was a biologist. He was conducting the experiment with his children. That we develop the cognitive processes, knowledge, understanding, application, etc., when there is a interaction takes place between the child and the environment. Unless there is interaction, there will be no less development. So child gains experience from the environment when he interacts with the various elements in the environment. Is it clear? The Piaget has explained that the development of our cognitive processes takes place due to the interaction of the learner with the environment. Either home environment, school environment, or any type of environment. The sky is blue. He looks at the sky and asks why the sky is blue. The sun is red both in the morning hour and the evening hour. Why such things occur? There is a formation of a rainbow. Why such things occur? So many things that automatically comes to his mind because of the immediate environment. He learns many things. Is it clear? The child learns due to interaction with the environment. Okay. The young child plays with the toys. You just hide the toy. What will you think? There is no existence of the toy. The moment that particular toy reappears, then there will be existence. So in this way, कौन तो?
सर एक्चुअल अगर ये जो स्कीमा है पहले जो बच्चे थे तो उन लोगों को हम लोग गलत क्यों देते हैं बाद में आके उन लोग हाँ पहले देते हैं हम लोग
हम क्यों गलत देते हैं इट डिपेंड्स अपॉन द इंडिविजुअल हम गलत देने का बात
बुक में भी तो जो बच्चे का बुक होता है वहां पे भी लिखा रहता है ना जैसे व्हाट इज द हाइट ऑफ हिमालय हिल
नहीं that सुनो in the schema that is in the dormant stage. Everything in the dormant stage. Only the environment stimulates that it is the height or this is the cold, it is the hotness, it is the rainy season or it is the
no sir that some the
exact question
sun is rise in east but sun is not rise in east every day. They change their position. Then why we
Nahi,
should teach the students sun is right on each side? It is not
nahi, nahi,
only 2 days sun is right on east side.
exactly what you have said. I agree to your argument. But at this stage, he is not able to understand the evolution process and how the position of the earth and the sun changes from day to day. Every in the year throughout the year there is a change in the position. Sun, Earth's position, because it revolves around the sun in an elliptical manner. So that's why the position exactly not east, but what he says at the early stage, what he observes at the early stage, that's why to satisfy his inquisitiveness, we say it. Later on, when he analyzes things later on, the abstractness comes at the age of 7 onwards. Then concrete operational or formal operational, then he can understand what is the position of the moon, a sun, what is the position of the earth, and at what time the sun rises, and what is called exact the east direction, etc. Is it not clear? Hello.
Clear, but student thought their
Uh.
early teacher is misguide them. He thought.
No, 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 exactly not to misguide them. Why the early teacher has no intention to misguide anybody? Early teacher, because according to the mental maturity, he gives certain informations. That's okay.
Right, so right.
Not teacher misguides. He gives the knowledge because he cannot understand the principles. The mind cannot accept the various concepts, the complex concepts. So simple way to give him, to satisfy me, we say it. Not the teacher misguides him. Why should the teacher will misguide? Not that. How in a simple way, simpler way, we can make him understand. Now it is you could understand?
Yes, sir. Understand.
Yes. Then in the cognitive process that we have, as I have told you, that it is the nothing to clarify much. You just Piaget theory cognitive development. You see at page 49. Here are 8 wooden beads. 6 of these are black and 2 are white. So there are more black beads or more wooden beads? So he count the figure and tell him. This is cognitive behavior. All children are human beings. And if all human beings are living creatures, then must all children be living creatures. This is a deductive logic. This is inductive logic. Rama is mortal, Hari is mortal, Rama is a man, Hari is a man, so man is mortal. This is called your inductive logic. If it is true in one case, true in second case, true in third case, it is true in all cases. So this is how we logically develop all these things. छोटा पिला भी पचारे कहीं के पिला को हमें छोटे पिला 3-4 वर्ष पिला को जे man is mortal, can he understand? He cannot understand. I have seen the children. You have also seen the children. Their parents are in the lying deathbed, and they are playing. They don't bother whether their father dies or mother died or like that. They don't discriminate between the death and life. So their mental maturity is not such to accept after if you ask him, my father is just lying on the bed, but he is no more. He has no idea. So this is the abstractness, the abstract ideas. If you teach the truth, beauty, goodness to the students from the early stage, cannot understand. If you just teach them the concrete things, then he can learn all these things. So in the last part, as per 49, Pia's basic tendency in thinking. So when there is organization of all the ideas and there will be adaptation and also equilibrium takes place, संतुलित हो गला जो आइडिया गुड़ा रहा कथा से रही गले मन भितर. So there is organization, that is an ongoing process. Some ideas will come into the mind and the ideas which are not necessary will be, we will leave these ideas, we will forget these ideas. The ideas which are necessary for us, we remember these ideas. Yes or no? Or we have kept all these ideas with us since our birth? No, that is not the case. At times, what happens? You have all remain very much acquainted with that. The unpleasant tasks during period of adolescence, you try to suppress those ideas or try to forget these ideas. Don't try to remember these ideas. I don't want to disclose all these things. So, this is an ongoing process and the process continues till death. The schema, the mental image is formed. And the mental image is recalled at the time of an. That's why we form the. It is difficult to remember all the factors and principles. So we make a concept map. What is the concept map? What a broad heading thibo, ता तले ଗୋଟେ ଲମ୍ବା ଗାର ମାରିକିରି 3-4ଟା ତାର ବ୍ରାଞ୍ଚିଂ କରି ଦେଇଥିବ, ତାର ତ ଛୋଟ ଛୋଟ ପଏଣ୍ଟ ଗୁଡ଼ା ସବୁ ଲେଖା ହେଇଥିବ. Sub concepts, visual representation of the sub concepts of the concept, main concept of a topic. ता କରିକିରି ଆମେ ସେତିକି ଖାଲି ଦେଖିଦେଲେ ଆମେ ମନେ ରଖିଦେବା. ବେଳେ ବେଳେ ଆମେ जो what are the colors of the rainbow? Simply, I mean, cause VV wire. Automatically it comes to V for stands for this, I stands for this, B stands for this, etc., etc. So this is the shortest way to code the language, code the information in our mind. Okay. So then you will read the page number 50 and 51. This is nothing but the very much difficult. One is moral development. So the moral development depends on you, that what to do, what not to do. When the self is divided into two, one becomes a teacher and another becomes taught. You must have learned or had the auto education, means self education. We are very much aware that without teacher there is no learning, teaching learning process. When teaching learning process comes into your mind, there must be a teacher, there must be learners, there must be an environment. Then what is self-learning? There is no teacher. There is no teacher, only learner is there. Auto-learning. The self is divided into two. One part tells you to do this, other part tells you not to do this. So there is a conflict between these two aspects. And finally, they come to a settlement and they do which is desirable. So, in the moral development that takes place, in the Piaget moral reasoning development, what takes place that through imitation. You must have observed the child, that the child cleans the room. Yes or no? The child cleans the room, child wears the sari, child makes sand houses, and so on and so forth. And the child behaves like a father and behaves like a mother in the absence of father and mother. Yes or no? In the
Yes.
absence of
Yes, sir.
absence of father or mother, there is a role play of the girl child or the boy child. So that is through imitation. They do learn something. And also the moral behavior also they learn when father talks about some moral things, citing the example of the many stories. So ethical stories. So he learns it. And the moral development takes place. But the child who just imitates that my father is a corrupt person, takes bribes from others, definitely that behavior becomes somewhat different. He imitates. And the father has no courage to say anything to the child. So then there is another Kohlberg's theory of moral development. The self-centeredness. There is a ego in everybody. And the ego prohibits not to do the things. We have animal instincts. Suppose you can go through to the any shop, you must have heard many stories, facts that person belong to the high family, very high family. They also steal ornaments and other things from the. That is the habit. So, in that case, if they have the ego, I belong to such family, my conscience bites me not to steal. If I will be cut, then I will be punished. So that is the Kohlberg's theory of moral development, punishment and reward. If there will be no moral development, if there will be moral development, he will be rewarded. There will no moral development, he will be punished. Some are liars, some steal many things without the knowledge of their parents and other members. So, this is how the moral development takes place. Then my point is, one thing just I tell you, the holistic development, etc., that takes place, that you will read through. Method of studying the children and adolescent. What are the different methods that you adopt to study. In your syllabus, there is one action research. ବେଳେ ବେଳେ question ପଡୁଛି, what is action research? What are the steps of action research? Explain the action research with example. What is research? Research is to generate new ideas. Research is conducted always to generate new ideas. You have heard or you know great scientists. Let us give the concrete example. The Newton. He discovered the law of gravitation. Was it new knowledge or old knowledge? It was new knowledge. It was not old knowledge. Through research, he generated new knowledge, or research generates new knowledge. It is clear? Research generates new knowledge. The more you
Yes, sir.
conduct research, the more you get new knowledge. It is clear? ମୁଁ ଆଉ ତା ଭିତରକୁ ବସୁନି.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then action research. Action research, action means activity starts. Let us come to the genesis. Action means activities. The research, the new ideas that involves many activities is called your action research. Okay, it's clear?
Yes, sir.
The
Sir,
research which, କୁହନ୍ତୁ,
sir, ଆଉଥରେ
page
କୁହନ୍ତୁ
number 67.
sir, action
କହୁଛି।
research ଆଉ ଟିକେ
କହୁଛି action research. The research which conducted through various activities pertaining to the teaching learning process. The research conducted to give new ideas with respect to the teaching learning process. This is called action research. ଏତିକି ମନେ ରଖିଲେ ନାହିଁ?
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ମନେ ରହିଲା?
Yes,
The
sir.
action research is very What is your problem? This is more helpful for the teacher. For example, suppose a new method of teaching has been adopted in the school. What is the validity, or up to what extent that new method of teaching will be useful for the learner? We are not, or it is not known to us. That's why we conduct an action research. Divide the group. The problem is effect of new method of teaching in a particular subject. This is the problem. ମୁଁ କହିବି ତାପରେ steps ଗୁଡା କହିବି। ଦିଟା ଗ୍ରୁପ ନେଲେ, ଦିଟା ଗ୍ରୁପ ନେଇ ପାଠ ପଢେଇଲେ, ଗୋଟେ ଗ୍ରୁପ କୁ ଟ୍ରାଡିସନାଲ ମେଥଡ ପଢେଇଲା, ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଗ୍ରୁପ କୁ न्यू मेथड ऑफ टीचिंग रे पढ़ेले टेस्ट कले देखा गला जे ना न्यू मेथड ऑफ टीचिंग पढ़ेबा द्वारा पिलांकर अचीवमेंट बिकम्स मोर, so the teacher is benefited that he will adopt a new method of teaching. Okay,
Sir,
is it
two
clear?
group or
This
same group?
example,
Sir,
now two different groups. We
different
will
group
take
means sir,
two different groups.
सर वन ग्रुप ନେଇକି ବି କରିଲେ
sir
ହବ?
improvement କେମିତି check କରିବା sir?
इम्प्रूवमेंट पर ट्रेडिशनल वे गोटे ग्रुप पढ़ेगा आउ न्यू मेथड ऑफ टीचिंग आउ गोटे ग्रुप पढ़ेगा गोटे क्लास 40 जन पिला अछन
Sir, individual difference रहुची ना जदि one group ऊपर first हमें traditional method करि परिबा
सब वेरिएबल को हमें कंट्रोल करि परिबा नाही एक्शन रिसर्च रे हमें राइट
again
सब
right
वेरिएबल को इट इज डिफिकल्ट टू कंट्रोल द all variables except true experiment. Which means except true experiment, it is difficult to control the all variables. Intelligence one variable, interest another variable, attitude is another variable. So it is difficult to control. So anyway, ताहले हमें what are the steps? प्रथम हला identification of the problem. Okay. प्रथम हला identification of the problem. The identification of the problem first step, the effect of new method of teaching, the effect of new method of teaching on the performance of the learner. This is a problem. Okay. Selection column, identification and selection of the problem. Then we have to design the problem. ताको केमती परिबा आगो ताले आमे दीटा ग्रुप को नबा गोटे ग्रुप एक्सपेरिमेंटल ग्रुप नबा गोटे नबा कंट्रोल ग्रुप दी ग्रुप नबा तांको प्री टेस्ट करिया पोस्ट टेस्ट करिबा इते ता पूर्वरु कोन करिबा आमे फॉर्मुलेशन ऑफ हाइपोथेसिस ता पूर्वरु ऑब्जेक्टिव्स आइडेंटिफिकेशन ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम objective of the problem, formulation of hypothesis the problem, and then collection of the data, time duration,
the sample collection,
time duration, then collection of data. कौन कहले
सर सैंपल टा हमें केते बेले नबा
कहूँ गोटे आड़ जाए तुम कही स्टेप गुड़ा मन रख सैंपल कथा पचे चिंता कर
again repeat करंतो स्टेप गुड़ा ठीक
आउटरे कहछ आइडेंटिफिकेशन ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम फर्स्ट स्टेप देन ऑब्जेक्टिव्स ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम what are the objectives, then hypothesis, then collection of data, then interpretation of data, then educational implication or conclusion, what do you write? It is clear? Is it clear?
Okay sir.
Again I repeat,
sir data collection pore kon कहले
data collection पर interpretation, data collection पर interpretation, interpretation पर educational implication. Okay, is it now clear?
Yes sir, yes sir.
ताहले हमें धरा जो गोटे सब्जेक्ट ना it is more beneficial to the teacher. What is the educational implication of action research? It is more beneficial to the teacher teaching different subjects. So suppose in your schools the various strategy that you adopt in the school, while adopting the various strategies, the mostly The teachers follow the translation method. Am I right or wrong?
Yes.
Mostly the teachers follow the translation. Just English को ओडिया कही पढ़ुଛନ୍ତି. आ पिलांकर कम्युनिकेशन एबिलिटी बढ़ियो को बटे. पिलांकर जो कम्युनिकेशन एबिलिटी बढ़िबो केमति हो. जदि इंग्लिश टाको ओडिया खाली धाड़ी धाड़ी की धाड़ी धाड़ी इंग्लिश धाड़ी धाड़ी ओडिया खाली ट्रांसलेशन करी पढ़ेबा ताले इट विल नो वे हेल्पफुल for the development of the communication ability of the learner. ताहले which approach will be beneficial आमे सेतमी कोन करिबा को मेथड हमकु ठीक लागुची आमे we have decide लिखिबा सेही this method the effect of this method in the teaching learning process नेगल मेथड तार ऑब्जेक्टिव लिखिले हाइपोथेसिस लिखिबा that is no significant the difference between the traditional method and the new method of teaching. बुझिएला हमको भितरे प्रथम नहीं लैक करिया नहीं जीवा हमें. There is no significant difference between the traditional method and the new method of teaching. Second, there is no significant difference between boys and girls with respect to the new method of teaching. So ए जोड़िया धरा जो नेले हमें हाइपोथेसिस नेले ताले केमति ताको हाउ टू कलेक्ट द डाटा. There are say 40 students in the class. Divide the class odd and even manner. 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 11, etc. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, etc.
That is sample, sir. That is sample, sir.
Sample. These are the two groups will be divided, and to one group I mean तांको traditionally पढ़ेबा and to other group through the new method of teaching पढ़ेबा. प्रथमे pre test करिबा. प्रथमे test will be conducted to ascertain their performance should be there is no difference in their performance. Then after the teaching 4 months or 5 months like that with the new method of teaching we again test it whether there is difference or not. Interpretation आसीबो आमे सेते interpretation लिखबा जे there is a difference in the new method or activity method of teaching. Say you are following in the class school, the effect of activity method of teaching in the performance on the performance of the learner. Similar way, so this is how it is more helpful for the teacher and to improve his strategies or a method of teaching in which way he will learn teach or transact the learning material as a result of which the learners will be benefited. This is the purpose of the conducting action genesis ta muluru kahi tamara action activity research to generate new ideas. New idea hala the effect of the new method of teaching has effect. The new method of teaching has effect on the performance of the teacher. This is the new idea that we have come. So number of researches are conducted. Then we come to the conclusion out of the action research. भाई देखियो तमे जो आउ थरे मु तम किछ क्लास नेबी 9टा 7टा पर काली हबो दि तमको समय मिलिबो नबा case study गोटे मेथड अछि टू स्टडी द इंडिविजुअल. What is case study? Case means गोटे इंडिविजुअल. One individual is called case. Do you follow my point? Case means
Yes,
one
sir.
individual. systematic study about the individual or the learner, about various characteristics, physical, psychological, sociological, cultural, etc., etc., all the characteristics is called to collection of the data about the individual is called case study. For example, suppose there are some low performer in the class. Some are shy in nature. Some do not interact with others. So as a teacher, we have to know who are such problems. Some are problem learners. So it is necessary to collect the data about the particular child. What factors influence the child to be the low performer? Whether he is the first generation learner or second generation learners, whether the parents takes care of him for studies at home, whether the parents are conscious about him, whether they give due importance to the child, and so many questions that we can raise, etc., and collect data. Finally, we come to the conclusion these are the reasons for which the child is abnormal. It is not a normal child. Normal learner is abnormal. This is called a case study. ये बुझिएला कि नहीं को केस स्टडी
बुझिएला सर
डिटेल स्टडी बुझिबल त डिटेल स्टडी अबाउट द
सर
इंडिविजुअल
हमें आत्मनिश्वासटा बहुत पिलांको नहीं करबा केस्टटा जनको नहीं करबा
हां ठीक कहछ त देखो family background, identification of the child, health record, educational data, psychological data, etc. सब देई खाली पढ़ी देले तुम जानि जो. Then self report, tools of research. Research hala generation of new ideas. Simply we can say research is conducted for generation of new ideas. So how do we generate the new ideas? Certain tools, certain tests are necessary. One of the tests is your observation. We can observe the data. We observe the individual for a collection of data. There are two types of research. One is quantitative research and other is qualitative research. When you observe the child, it is a qualitative research. We have no preconceived idea about the child. Just we observe. When you are going to observe, the child should not know that he is going to be observed. That must be kept secret. The various activities in the various environment that should be observed. And finally, we give the report that these are the reasons for which the problems of the child is not as per the normal children in the school. Okay. Another is self-report. So he will be asked to write about himself, about his relationship with the parents, relationship with the members of the family, likes, dislikes, and so on and so forth. He will go on writing all these things. Then he will go through the self-report. Then he will come to the conclusion that what is his liking, what is his disliking, whether the parents are conscious, whether parents gives time or not. Many things that you can study. One is the interaction of the children. हाँ, कौन?
सर अगर स्कूल में एसटी स्टूडेंट कम है, अगर हम असाइनमेंट करेंगे तो सारे स्टूडेंट को लोग असाइनमेंट करेंगे. मैं पर्टिकुलर एक एसटी स्टूडेंट का मैं केस स्टडी करूंगा, तो एसटी स्टूडेंट तो ऑल इन बॉर्न दे आर चेंज, दे आर डिफरेंस फ्रॉम अदर्स। तो उस तरफ क्या होगा, उस टाइम में हमारा तो जो केस स्टडी होगा ना, उस केस स्टडी में तो कुछ मतलब गलत रह जाएगा ना।
नहीं, case study not in the class but outside the class. We can conduct the case study outside the class.
If I case study a ST student, they are behaving to problem inborn.
जी
Here we have behavioral problem inborn. They keep
their behavioral problem is somewhat different than others, because they're mainly what I have observed. I have asked to a student in the viva of a dissertation of a regional college of education, RI, Regional Institute of Education. He was doing the dissertation on the dropouts of the children. So the findings of our study was she told that the most of the tribal children are dropouts. I just asked her, what are the reasons? Why do you say that the most of the students are dropout, the tribal children? Simply her answer, and I was agree, that their main interest is to collect the woods and wood products from the jungle. Their interest. They are not interested for study. They have some different genes and also hunt the animals. It is also prohibited now. So, but our syllabus is common for all. So he does not feel the pleasure when the transaction is going on in the class. That's why he is not coming to the class. This was the answer. I agree, of course. So we do not consider their interest, attitude, and other things. And we do not consider their language also. Language is the major factor. They are unable to communicate with the teacher. The teacher uses his own languages, but their language is different. He does not understand. As a result of which, there is a low achievement. So, in that case, the problems are many. If you can raise the problem cannot be solved. But it is the question of how our political people, how our leaders, how our government are very much careful about the education of those kind of children, those who are in the adverse situation. Mr. who was asking all these things, could you get the answer or not?
no, I got in, sir. But this case study is biased, I feel.
This case study is
biased for a ST student. And I cannot give him any emotional favor, any other
no.
thing.
It should not be biased. It's the teacher always when you will at what happens, that is some biasness is there. But when
This is sympathy. This is our sympathy for a tribal student, for a backward student.
That
It happened. It happened.
It practically happens. It
practically happens.
It practically happens that we are very much biased about these such things. Yes, if I agree to your point. So the interaction with the children, the more you interact with the children, the more you know the problems. The more you know the problems, the more you want to solve the problems. Through interaction, the मुंह चाहिए from the face. The face is the index of mind. What is that? Is a proverb. From the face, the appearance, you can say that why your face is not say very dry or very pale, rather. He will say that I have not taken anything. from home
Not
because there was no food. I
no
have
bathing, no dress,
I have
usual dress.
I have come to the school with all these things. But naturally, it's a lot of problems. There's a lot of problems that it's very difficult to address it. And ସେତିକି sensible government ହେଲେ, if the government will be sensible, then he will address the education and health. These two major problems, they can resolve the issues. Through interaction, we can know more things. Then is
Many
children's, Haji, yes.
many ST students said they
Hmm.
have come to school only for food, not
Yes,
study.
midday meal.
Midday meal,
After the
nothing.
midday meal is over, they just
They
go
go
out,
to home. Ha.
go home. It is a fact. It is a fact. I don't deny. Children's diary. You allow them. You maintain your diary. Whatever anything that comes to your mind, just write in your diary. Your likes, dislikes, the subject you like, the subject you don't like, the teacher you like, the teacher you don't like, all these things. So that will give a comprehensive idea about the particular learner, your peer groups, kaha se kaha se misuchi, who is your best friend, and so on and so forth. ଯେମିତି the mirror can say cannot tell the lie. ସେମିତି ଡାଇରୀରେ your emotions, your thoughts are reflected in the diary. And if you go through the diary, many things, many problems can be detected. Then a cumulative record, that is record card, a record which is maintained in the school cumulatively. When he goes to other class, that record goes with him about health, about his achievement, about his likes, about his dislikes, about his health status, about his parental status, and everything. That cumulatively, continuously, that should be a very systematic one. That is to be maintained by the teacher. And the teacher will transfer when he goes to the next class. But what happens that is not exactly studied, the cumulative record card, which are beneficial, which is most beneficial for the teacher. Then the content of the cumulative record card, you see at page 78, personal data, academic data, health data, co-curricular data. ଆଜିକାଲି co-curricular ଉଠିଗଲାଣି, co-scholastic କୁହାଯାଉଛି. Personality characteristics, record of the counseling and guidance, general remarks, etc. All these things should be there in the cumulative record card. Then anecdotal record means the study about a particular incident. His personality, his characteristics can be studied from the particular incident. Every school has an assembly hall, and students are allowed to deliver the speech in the assembly hall. In an ideal school, rather I can say, all are given chance to expose themselves before the audience, so that there will be no fear psychology, there will be proper communication, there will be development of confidence level, and so on and so forth. So from the particular incident, we can also record what is the problem with the child. Whether he is afraid of delivering speech before the audience, his friends, teachers, and etc. Whether his lack of communication ability, whether he has a lack of language proficiency, and so on and so forth. These are the anecdotal records. Then almost is over. Reflective journals. So all you go through the journals, read the journals. You read the journals, but when you will attend the workshop, that is the EPC 1 and 2 in the first year workshop, and EPC 3 and 4 in the second year workshop. The enhancing professional competency, that is EPC. So there are 4 themes. In the reflective journals, what is that? That is, in journals, you read a particular topic in which you are interested and give your own opinion, give your own analysis, give your own criticism, so that your critical analysis or your understanding can be assessed through the reflective journals. You read the journals and reflect your mind on the various topics. That is a reflective journal. So these are all the things that I have tried as far as possible. So if you allow me tomorrow, after the class is over,
Yes,
then
sir.
we will discuss
Yes, sir.
about
Yes, sir.
other thing from the 3 or anything that you ask the questions. We can
Yes,
discuss,
sir.
and also some questions will be discussed. Okay. आज
Okay,
ଟିକେ
sir.
problem
Yes,
ହେଲା
sir.
ପ୍ରଥମ
Block
problem
three.
ହେଇଗଲା
Also.
I was mood ଟେ ପ୍ରଥମରୁ ଖରାପ ହେଇଗଲା ଏଇ ଯୋଉ ଇକୋ ହେଲା ପ୍ରଥମରୁ it was in a problem. I was in a problematic situation. All right, thank you very much for your patient hearing for approximately 2 hours,
Yes,
and
sir.
if possible, if you say tomorrow after 7,
Yes,
we
sir.
will
Which is the link? This link.
जी
यही लिंक पे है ना दूसरा लिंक पे दिस लिंक आफ्टर
this link
7 PM.
this link I will tell him the person who is making the link, this link, and
Okay, sir.
I will talk to the who is coordinating all these things. We will discuss something. Okay, thank you very much for your kind cooperation.
Thank
Okay, sir.
you, sir.
Again we will meet
So much, sir.
ନଳିନୀ ଷ୍ଟଡି ସେଣ୍ଟର ଯୋଉମାନେ ଥିବ ତାଙ୍କ ସହିତ ଆମର ଦେଖା ହବ ୱାର୍କସପ୍ ବେଳେ ହେଲା।
सर व्हाट्सएप जो अब सर
ଆରେ ପଳେଇଲାଣି ଏବେ ରଖ।